Alright, so I have sunk quite a bit of time into this game. After only owning it for less than a week, I've almost put 20 hours into it, which just speaks to how much fun I've had with this game so far. So I thought, why not on its actual release date, release a video giving you my first impressions. But fear not, this is going to be a spoiler-free impressions video. The background footage that you're going to see is all side content, and really it's even side content of side content. I'm basically just going to random planets at this point and exploring what all they have to offer. So let me start with the exploration part of the game. I really like it. Effectively, you can just go to any one random planet you want to and explore to your heart's content. I will say on some of the moons there isn't all that much to see, but on some of the more biodiverse planets there's quite a bit to see. And very few times have I explored somewhere where I thought to myself, that really wasn't worth it. That's been very few times. My favorite thing about the game's exploration is things like this, where you come across like a random person and you have that morally ambiguous decisions you can make, where you can either mow them down and take their stuff or even their ship, or you can leave them be. And in this case, I just decide, well, I just want to see if I could and what would happen. So I did decide to take this poor explorer down. But the exploration overall feels really good. It feels on point. I oftentimes end up on planets for various quests, but I end up just exploring the planet for hours. And that's been a really fun experience for me. Another thing about the game that I really like overall is that it does have a very classic Bethesda feel to it. The universe feels alive and random, which I really like. It just feels like at any one given time you'll come across like a random fighting sequence battle, if you will, and then you'll have to decide if you want to get in the middle of it or not. I really like how the NPCs throughout each city and settlement I've been to feel is exactly as described in the marketing. It's as if they are going about their day-to-day lives. You can overhear different conversations, which can trigger side quests and side content. It just has a very classic Bethesda feel. It very much feels like Skyrim, and even to some extent Fallout 4. So I really appreciate that, and that gave me a lot of hope in the first few hours of the game, and it hasn't disappointed since. I want to talk about character progression real quick. So the game has 5 different trees, if you will, that are, I think, and I wish I had the notes in front of me, but I think it's like technology, fitness, or physical, combat. I think there's social, and then there's one more that I can't quite remember. But effectively, this is going to serve as your perk tree. And what's really cool is that it's sort of a hybrid between Skyrim and Fallout. So each perk has like a different it has like tiers that you can unlock that give you additional benefit of the perk. And what's really cool is that it's sort of like Fallout in that sense, and that you pick a perk just like you would from the special tree. But then in order to get the additional benefit, you actually have to perform the task. So for example, if you want to have proficiency in handguns, you can unlock it to get an additional, or to get an upfront benefit of more damage, for example. But then you actually have to use the pistols to get additional level ups of that perk to get more out of it, which I think is really clever. It's, like I said, it's sort of a hybrid between the two systems, and I think it works really well. It also seems to have quite a bit of depth to it, which I know character development and character progression in these types of games is so incredibly important. And I think they really hit the nail on the head with this, and I really do like it so far. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting characters and builds you can create, and I can't wait to see how everything synergizes and how different weapons and gear you get later on in the game sort of play into these perks. I'd also like to say that as far as customization is concerned, there's a ton of it here. You can do consumables, you can do space suits and whatnot, you can obviously do your ship, and there's a ton of customization options with that. You can customize different weaponry, you can add attachments, so they've kind of brought in the best of Fallout 4 and incorporated it into this game, and I really do like that a lot. As far as the story is concerned, again, this is going to be completely spoiler free, but I've enjoyed it thus far. I will admit that I haven't done too much story content. I've just been focusing on exploration and side content. But overall, it's got some interesting narrative direction to it, and I'm curious to see where things go. But there's so much to do in this game, and there's so many different elements to it that it's so hard to just focus on one different thing. It's one of these situations where I sign in to play the game, and before I know it, I'm off on a totally different adventure than I thought I would be whenever I first booted up the game, and that's always a great problem to have. But it's just, there's so much to see and do, which again, it's not a complaint. It's one of the reasons I love these games so much. As far as the combat is concerned, I think it feels really good. You can see in some of these clips here, I found this really cool weapon on a planet that I was exploring, and I haven't found anything like it since. It's sort of like this super fast assault rifle with a round magazine. I don't have very much ammo for it, but you can see it does a lot of work against these lower level enemies. And that's one of the things I really like about the combat, is that you can just find these random weapons that are great, but they have limited ammo at the start of the game. But you also have, you know, a variety of different handguns and things like that. There always seems to be something to use and to try out that's different. I think the gun design is very cool so far. I've enjoyed experimenting with the different weapons. Melee feels quite good. I will say though, at times, sneaking in this game, because you have to unlock it first and foremost to even get the indicator that you're hidden and whatnot. But it seems like at times NPCs don't notice me when they should for my level, and at other times they notice me when I feel like they shouldn't. But that's just a really small complaint. And actually the only other complaint that I have so far is with the AI, in that whenever they're weakened in combat, sometimes they'll just like run off and hide from you, or just like literally just run into the wilderness, and that can be kind of a pain to have to track them down. I haven't really found a good solution to that yet, but again, that's you know, such a minor complaint. Another interesting thing that I wanted to touch on real quick before I wrap things up here is that at the start of the game, the traits that you can pick that have like a benefit but also like a negative attribute to it are really cool. I haven't experimented with all of them, but the ones that I have, it's been very fun to kind of strategize and see if there is, you know, like some way to build the character to sort of offset the negative effect of the attribute. Like for example, one of them is it's called introvert, and basically you get more oxygen and health, I think, if you travel without a human companion. And that's been, you know, one of the ones that I picked for my characters, just because I don't like traveling with companions. But I might try it with some of the more robot characters and just see if that works out in my favor, because it doesn't say that it offsets. It only says it affects human companions, so maybe that's a way to sort of like you could do Lone Wanderer and Dogmeat back in Fallout 4. But just cool things like that. I mean, this game is just full of really cool, interesting ideas and builds and things of that nature. And if you've enjoyed Skyrim in the past, if you've enjoyed Fallout 4 in the past, I do think you'll like this game a lot. It's a lot of fun to explore, it's a lot of fun to get into combat, it's a lot of fun to just kind of get lost and figure out what you want to do. There's no shortage of things to do. And with that said, I think I will sign out here. I definitely recommend this game. I think it's great. If you are still on the fence, there are a lot of great reviews out there. Obviously ACG does a great job, and somebody I personally look forward to his opinion whenever these types of games come out. So do your research, figure it out for yourself. But if you have Game Pass, definitely check out this game. And like I said, if you've enjoyed any Bethesda title in the past, I don't think you'll be disappointed here. And if you have any questions about the game that I didn't address in this short little video, I'll be keeping an eye on this video in the days that follow after I post it. So just leave me a question in the comment section, and I'll be sure to try to get back with you as quickly as I possibly can. But with that said, I'm going to sign out here, jump back into some more Starfield. Hope to catch you there. I'll probably do a follow-up video as to my experience when I've actually beaten the game. But until that time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.